Good heavens.
What?
It's midday already.
I can't believe that. I can't believe it. Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm Russ Kane. He is Phil Dave. This is the Midday Show, and you're very, very welcome. How lovely. What a fabulous day outside. Gorgeous.
Glorious. Very, very happy with the weather today.
And nice to see that you're dressed for the summer.
Yes.
I've
ditched the cravat, so that's
unbelievable. That is like you being naked.
I was going to say, I feel most exposed.
I know. I thought you were never allowed to see your neck. I assumed you had.
Well, I've always said a true gent never reveals his neck in public, which is kind of why I'm doing a bit of a Barney Rubble thing at the moment.
There is a hint of that. I mean, the thing is, I'm the one with the funeral suit, normally wearing that, and there you are.
Well, it's all right. I like a nice little black jacket.
Yeah, it's been a busy old week. I had 2 funerals to do yesterday from 2 different funeral directors, not connected in the least, and mercifully, by pure chance, both in the same place. So that was handy, and not too far apart. That was good.
When you say it's in the same place, in the same town,
crematorium,
city?
The same crematorium.
Same crematorium. I see.
Yeah, which is near Ruislip, basically. It's a huge, very busy place. Can we say congratulations to some people? We don't normally do this, but
I didn't realise that you were congratulating Andy Burnham, but anyway.
I'm sorry. Carry on. I mean, it was inevitable, wasn't it? I thought Nigel Farage.
I'm not surprised. The media won it for him. There was so much flipping coverage about this bloody by-election. I'm not in the least bit surprised.
It's a piece of shit. It really is diabolical. And I thought Nigel Farage gave a very gracious speech. I watched the video when I was busy watering this morning, first thing. No, it's not a euphemism. I was watering plants. And
they didn't have to get up in the middle of the night.
They did well. I mean, they did okay. They weren't a million miles away. They wanted 16. I don't know. I haven't got the figures in my head. They wanted 6. Whatever they didn't get it, but it was a good attempt.
Valiant effort.
This has got nothing to do with the by-election. This is all to do with getting rid of Starmer. We know that. It's so bloody obvious. And now Starmer will be absolutely cacking it because suddenly they've got Andy Burnham, who everyone thinks is the the great white knight coming over the hill on his charger. He's even worse.
I was going to say it would be socialism on steroids, but never mind.
He's even bloody worse, this guy. The thing.
Well, let's put it this way. Ed Miliband and Andy Burnham are very good pals. So if you ever need to be worried about what's coming down the track,
he's locking up.
It would be quite nice.
I think he's unwell. I've never known one man spout so much garbage in my life.
Agreed. I think he's
the billions,
a very disturbed individual.
The billions he is spaffing up the wall is disgusting. For some nonsense, some absolute.
Well, I was going to say for the impossible dream. That's what's so frustrating.
It's madness. It has to stop.
Yes.
But we won't get the billions back. Doesn't matter who gets in at the next election. We're not going to get those billions. This lunatic has just thrown. It's just madness. All this crap. Absolute madness. Absolute madness. Anyway, I want to say congratulations. I don't normally do this sort of thing. But months ago I was booked to do a wedding, and I didn't realize how huge this wedding is. The wedding is tomorrow in the countryside. I've been booked for nearly 11 hours. Can you believe that? Nearly 11 hours.
Hope you sleep this evening.
No, I sleep very, very bad. I didn't sleep particularly well last night at all. So congratulations to Tia Posner, in fact, Dr. Tia Posner, and her fiasco, Daniel Barnes, and it's going to be a fabulous day tomorrow. I hope you all have, if you're coming to the wedding, I don't know them. I mean, I've met them a few times to plan the wedding. I don't mean they're friends of mine, so I won't know anybody there. But apart from the event organizer, who I've met Never. Except on
It does make me question, though.
Yeah, what?
How many vowels they've written if you're booked for 11 hours?
It's a good question. Well, I'm booked to do. I can't reveal some of it. It's so top secret. I'm not allowed to see the full itinerary till I get there. I went, well, I'm meant to be running this. No, we can't show you. Not them, the event organisers, who seem lovely. We can't show you everything because it's top secret. We'll show you the full paperwork when you get there. I'm like, what? Elon Musk is going to land in SpaceX and get out. I don't know. It's going to be spectacular.
Anything is possible.
Yeah, it's going to be spectacular. We have comments coming in.
Looks like sleet.
Yeah, it is. It looks like sleet. The Count Brimface interview with Sky News was brilliant. I love it. Hello, lovely boys. Hello.
Greetings, Mama.
Well, not my mama. Hello, Linda. All the best. All the best to Linda, who, if you don't know, if you just joined the show, is Phil Dave's mum. Obviously, yeah, it's going to be a scorcher this weekend. Hope you're saying the venue has aircon tomorrow. It'll be outside. I think a lot of it's going to be outside. I hope to God there's some aircon because I melt, and I only have one. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I couldn't take like 3 shirts with me, I suspect. I think that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I don't think I've got a choice. 3 shirts, 28 tins of right guard, loads of beautiful aftershave, and hope for the best. Who knows? Who knows? I got the itinerary for this wedding. The itinerary starts at 6 a.m. I'm not kidding. 6 a.m. finishes 2 a.m.
Good Lord. Anyone would think they're making a fuss of it.
No. They're the interesting thing is I've obviously met them a few times to plan the wedding, and they're incredibly low-key and utterly charming and normal. The wedding is
afraid what you have just said.
Kardashian marrying, I don't know, Kanye West or something. But they were married, weren't they? Were they married?
Yes, they were.
Idiots.
Sadly.
Yeah. Hey, RBB's on the case. RBB. Robert Van Buren, horologist to the stars. Hi, Russell. Hello, Robert. Hope all well. Anyway, this week, I'm sorry, could you speak? My throat's gone. Could you just...
Don't you worry. Whilst you're tackling whatever frog has decided to clog the clack, I shall get on with filling the time and seeing what occurs. There you go. Right. Yes. So just for those who are listening, Ross is cleansing and wetting the whistle with a sip out of the world's smallest cup, so that I've seen. Like, it's very nice. It's very dainty china.
I bought these
in a boot set
on Teeb, and it's a whole set. And can you see it? It's so, I think it's gorgeous. I've had it for years.
Can you please not lose your voice ahead of tomorrow, for goodness sake? That would be very irresponsible.
This would be the worst thing ever. I'd have to go find a chemist, buy Vocal Zone. Have you ever had?
They are appalling.
If you speak for a living profession.
I tell you for nothing, Vocal Zone, it's amazing how you get better from them because the taste is so disgusting. You would do anything to never have them again.
Oh, they're a lozenge. And I used to use them when I was doing stage work because your voice would go. You're doing 2 shows a day, 6 days a week. Holy God. Vocal Zone. They blow the back of your throat out. When I was doing presentations in the US, don't they?
I could well imagine that they've got multi-purpose where you sort of drop them in sort of a little bottle of white spirits and they'll strip paint as well. Or something like that.
You need your toilet cleaning, just drop the little lozenge in.
Drop a Vocal Zone down and your loo will sing.
Brain surgery.
Open the loo, open the seat, and then suddenly a choir starts bursting out of it. Now there's an image for you. Darling, I think the toilet's out of tune again.
Wrong one. Oh, you have
good grief.
when I was doing presentations in the US, I used to keep spare shirts in the cool bag. God, that's clever, boy. So when I needed to change shirts, to be very refreshing. Dave, that is genius.
In a cool bag. How brilliant is that? That's very clever.
Oh, savior of the universe. Barry J. Allen. Excellent. Good afternoon to you.
I have a tip for pet owners. I'm sorry, I know this does not apply to you, sadly, at the moment in Stanmore residence, but but certainly when you see other pooch. I take a tea towel and I put, those little ice packs you put in cool bags for sandwiches.
Yeah.
I wrap those in tea towels, and then the animals like to lie on them, and it keeps them cool in this heat.
Well, we did all this for Ebony, and we'd get the cool mats, and we got them for.
Yes.
And we got them for Amber as well. The cool mats. You think this is going to be great? Would they lie on them? Would they go and lie next to the cool mat? You're going, I've just dragged myself to Pets at Home or whatever it is, paid God knows what. Would you lie on the bloody cool mat, you idiot? No. No. It was very awkward. One of the assistants at the funeral, one of the funeral directors, a very nice woman, and we always chat while we're waiting to go in to start the service. And she said, "Oh, how's your little dog?" It was yesterday, and I said, "Oh, she died." And it's awful because she had nowhere to go with it, so I just kind of covered it up, and we started chatting about other stuff because I didn't want her to feel bad. It was very sweet of her to even remember, and she must be dealing with so many people. But I felt terrible, that I didn't want to upset her. If that makes any sense. So ridiculous, Phil. I'm sure your mum and dad feel the same about Monty and Carlo, but I'm still, when I'm out, I think I better get back because I've got to let Ebony out. I go, what are you doing? No, you don't. You don't.
Believe me, there have definitely been moments where I know full well that my mother has not descended into panic per se, but for a brief moment has thought, "Oh, I must get back for Monty. Oh, hang on." No. So it's amazing how they weave themselves into life.
Oh, don't they just, Dave? No. What have we got here?
Let's see what we did there.
Surely with your vast wealth. What vast wealth, you fool?
You can afford to employ Phil as a punkawalla tomorrow.
Both hardly racist at all. That's the main thing, Paul. That's what we admire about that comment. It's wrong on so many levels.
Bit like a multi-story car park.
Wrong on so many. Did you just think of that?
No, it's a very old joke, but it just took me. I like it.
It's very, very good. It is so, and sometimes I find myself if a door's open, I think, I pop to get a parcel or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, I've got to shut the door in case Ebony escapes. She's not going to escape. She's in a little, unless she's going to escape the little tiny box that she's in, bless her. Yeah. And, oh, this is lovely. All
the thousands of viewers from around the world. Yeah, Philip, I can tell I really appreciate an optimist. Thank you.
Well, yeah, optimism's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
So listen, your fingers on the political pulse, considering where you work, which is the new centre of Europe, basically.
Oh, yes.
So, what do they think? There's going to be will there be a lead? I don't really give them monkeys, but is there going to be a leadership race, or what's going to happen with this?
I fully anticipate within the next 24 hours, Burnham will declare he is going to launch a leadership challenge. So, if that is the case, Starmer has already declared he will stand in a leadership contest, and let's be honest, he is already the leader, so there's obviously enough people in the party who want to see him in that position, so it could be interesting. Wes Streeting has also said he would consider throwing his hat in the ring, so who only knows. It's I have to tell you, I do think, and people think I am mad for this, I obviously am not the biggest fan of Starmer by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think he is the least worst option. got to be very, very careful what you wish for. Don't get me
I'm
wrong.
with you on this. I loathe him. I've never made any. I've never made any hiding of it. I can't stand him. I hate him, his politics, his views, his tone deafness, the constant gaslighting, which is just disgraceful. He's brought this country to a boiling point through his endless mendacity, the appalling handling of everything.
The good news is because he procrastinates so much and tries to think of the consequences of his actions before he carries anything out, or even when he does carry something out, he reads the room incorrectly, backtracks because he thinks something's not right or something's going to be upset. He basically he goes back on, what's the word? He he reneges on so many of his decisions that actually nothing ever gets done. Now the problem is with someone like Burnham, or possibly even with Wes Streeting. Again, I don't think Wes Streeting is as bad as Burnham, but don't get me wrong, I'm not going to pretend to like most of his politics. But the problem is that I feel that both of them would be a little more gung-ho about stuff, and they would just make changes. And their changes would not necessarily be for the better, certainly not for the masses anyway.
One of the things that no one really says is that the Labour Party was a proper party to have. And I couldn't have summed it up better. I don't know his name, I'm sorry. I try and avoid politics because otherwise I just want to smash my head against a brick wall. But somebody resigned, and the resignation speech was magnificent.
Is that the Defence Secretary, John Healey?
Yes, I think it was. And he said that the Labour Party was forged, I'm paraphrasing badly, so forgive me, out of working people who work their guts out, backbreaking work, physical work, often very dangerous work, to give them a voice. Absolutely right. So it should be the backbone of the country, backbone. Social media influencers are not the backbone they contribute nothing. People digging coal and forging steel and all the things that they used to do were the backbone of the country. Farmers, etc. Come on to that in a minute. And it was right. And that has got so lost. And it's not the Labour Party anymore. It's a bunch of indoctrinated Marxists. That's what they are.
But it's happened across quite a few of the parties, because the Green Party, funnily enough, their name gives it away, used to be about the environment. Now they're anything but the environment. They want to topple this country with endless migration. Well, what's that going to do for the environment? They want to basically sort of declare that Israel is some sort of terrorist state, and then I don't know, try and wipe them off the map as much as the terrorists want.
Well, they're a complete bunch of lunatics. They're awful. And the best thing about it is that there is a leadership battle with those bunch of nutcases between the repulsive Zach Polanski, David Coulden, and some other nutbag. And because Zach Polanski isn't quite radical enough, have you ever in your life? These people, they honestly, reopen your supplements, for God's sake. Right, this is important for Mr. Claridge. Would you care to read it out?
A message to all dog owners. Please don't... Dog owners, not duck owners.
Oh.
Please don't take them out for a walk while the temperature outside is so high.
Mm-hmm.
Walk them early morning and late at night.
Mm-hmm.
Much cooler.
Mm-hmm.
No dog will die from missing a walk, but dogs will die very quickly and painfully from heat stroke. My dog is currently fast asleep in the coolest room in the house with our cat curled up asleep next to him.
I want to add to that. People forget how hot the pavements get. They forget. And little doggy's paws get really burnt. So you think you're doing the dog a favour. You're not doing the dog a favour at all. Paul is absolutely right. If you've got to, walk where you can, if you're living in the middle of Croydon, good luck. But if you can find grass or, earth or something which doesn't heat up like that, that's better.
What about Middle Earth?
Hmm?
What about Middle Earth?
Could do. You could. Oh no, we're back to the Neil Long, Ian in Surbiton battle about Mordor now.
Oh, I don't know enough about it. So don't worry, you won't get into that.
Spain. My dog lies in front of the aircon to keep cool. Most people know that, surely. Thank you, Bob. No, most people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. They think, oh, I always take my dog out at, I don't know, 12 o'clock or something. I got to take my dog out. Please don't.
Chrissy, of course you are right that there'll be a lot of experienced dog owners out there who would absolutely know it. But what you have to consider is people get dogs every day, and sometimes it's their first dogs, and they just don't think like that. Don't realize.
They should do. Positive principle-based politics, PPPP, has been usurped by personal agenda presentation and the
without a shadow of a doubt.
They don't care. They only care about themselves. They don't care about the country.
But you know, I tell you what I think it is.
Fanatics is what they are. Call them what they are. They're fanatics.
So do you know where I think it first went wrong? And you're going to think of me as mad, but hear me out here. I think it first went wrong when cameras were first allowed inside the Commons.
Ah, interesting.
Because up until that point, they were only an audience to each other and possibly the gallery. As soon as it went on national television all over the place and it's clipped for social media, they're just a bunch of performers now.
Don't you find when you watch events in the House of Commons Parliament, it's just deeply, deeply embarrassing?
Yes, well, especially given that all of the questions are rehearsed. That's what annoys me.
It's not just that, it's the they behave like pathetic little school kids. They're so immature, and they're meant to be running the country. I think they're all terrible. The whole lot needs to be swept out. It needs to be swept out. Home Office needs to be swept out. The police need looking at. The whole of the judicial
civil service.
Civil service. The other, you're right. Dave Sleet's absolutely right. And the other thing is, this performative crap, ha ha ha, and all that rubbish. It's so unreal. Not just the civil service, the Home Office, and the judges. All of these judges who are letting vile, filthy monsters out. They need investigating. They need investigating. Why are they doing it? Why are they doing it?
Well, what I find particularly curious as well is why people are so averse to some of the most basic principles that we used to have, which, let's be honest, the world seemed to be a nicer place in those days. Not always, not all elements, but many elements.
Yeah.
But such as, for years, if there's a dangerous animal that attacks a child, what's the first thing that is done? That animal is destroyed.
You put the animal in a hotel, you give it 3 meals a day, free dental care, 3 rabies shots, obviously, and then you let the animal
absolutely, and a ball of string to play with. But
that's
yes.
what you do. That's the majority. Look.
Well, funnily enough, we have no hesitation. We destroy those animals. And I think we forget humans are also animals. There are some that are beyond reproach, and they're also, unfortunately, beyond any sort of help. As a result of it, why do you put the masses at risk by allowing these, what can only be described as lunatics, to roam free amongst us? That's what I can't get my head around. And you can say what you want about prison. We had this discussion because, of course, yesterday, as you well know, during a by-election and the polls are open, you can't really talk about politics too much on radio because I'm afraid that it could influence voting. But one of the questions that came up is off the back of these horrendous individuals who killed that baby. It was announced that you heard about the news this week.
Yep.
And obviously raised all sorts of questions as to who on earth is allowed to adopt children and why was no one picking up on the dangers that were very blatantly there for anyone to see if you dug deep enough. And yet, those kind of people are allowed to roam free. Okay, fair enough, they've been put in prison this time, but that's because it was a high-profile case. Chrissy, you've hit the nail on the head, and that's what we asked. We asked, should the death penalty be brought back?
Starmer would never do it because he's a Marxist. But if they had a referendum in this country, should we bring back the death penalty for certain crimes? I wonder what the result would be. Obviously, it would split the country enormously. Like, well, we can never come together again. It's too late. We're done with that. We're done with that.
The reason why I beg to differ slightly with that is because we live in a political age where people are constantly highlighting differences. So I'm not in the least bit surprised how divided the country is, because there's always this notion of us and them, even to the point of just political opinion. If someone believes passionately, as I do and many others I know, that mass immigration has been treacherous for this country and I would like to see a reversal of it and a 5-year ban put in place whilst things are being sorted out, then I'm labelled as far right. Now, labelled as far right does not mean I'm far right, but they're labelling me as such and others because what they're trying to do is vilify individuals like me so that the rest of the country goes, oh, far right, we've been taught that's really bad. Huh, he's a bad person. No, I'm not a bad person. I'm not bad at all. I happen to be incredibly patriotic and I happen to love the country that I grew up in. But I don't like what's happened to this country. And so this is the kind of politics we see now, is that people are constantly othering individuals just for their political view, let alone their actions.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's one of the reasons why, and again, this is a slightly controversial thing to say, but I'll say it all the same and try and justify my thinking behind it. It's one of the reasons why I hate with an absolute passion Pride Month. Because all it does...
What do you hate? Primark?
The Pride Month.
Oh, Pride Month. I thought you said Primark. I thought, what's the matter with that? They've got quite nice jackets.
No.
Shirts.
Primark is all right in small doses. I don't like queuing for the checkouts, but other than
that's a pain in the ass, but anyway.
But no,
Pride
Month.
Oh,
I absolutely hate it.
I'm done with it. I hate it. I'm done with it.
And the reason why I hate it is because what should have started off as a celebration of love has actually turned into let's treat people differently. And I don't like that. I don't want anyone treated differently. As far as I'm concerned, I think we've moved, thankfully, quite far away from the idea that people have to be straight or nothing else. And to just highlight differences further, to my mind, just causes more division. Chrissy says social services need to be sorted. Taking that poor baby from a good foster family to give to a bad family who wants to adopt, they do not see further than the end of their noses or don't care.
I think they're too busy is one of the huge factors. I think they're simply swamped. I think they're absolutely swamped. I'm really tired of pride this and pride. Enough now. It's been
I just don't like division. But this is exactly
Black History Month. I don't need it. I don't need White History Month. I just need maybe History Month would be nice.
Totally. Make it part of history, totally and utterly. But what I'm saying is that we don't need to keep highlighting differences in society, because the only thing anyone needs to know is if someone, heaven forbid, is stabbed with a knife, they will bleed. That's all you need to know. That's it. Everything else is subjective. Everything else is up to the individual. Their choice.
It is way too late. And the way I keep saying it till I'm blue in the face. This is what I think.
Don't go blue in the face. Then we'll have to treat you differently.
Well, I identified as a Smurf.
Well, there you go.
That's it. What do we need here? Hang on. Whoopsie. Press the wrong. Get up. We've got Mr. Sleep. The death penalty would need a complete overhaul of the justice, police, social systems, etc. Education to ensure the protection from social. Don't understand that. The death penalty would just save the taxpayer paying for monsters, basically. End of.
Well, I'll tell you what
I don't
annoys me.
want to over-intellectualize it, Dave. I don't want to over-intellectualize it. You got monsters. We don't.
Oh my God. Philip's hit the nail on the head as ever. Philip Harling. I hate with a passion the phrase, lessons will be learned. No, they won't.
God.
No, they flipping won't. They're never learned.
Of course they won't be learned.
I will say one thing, though, to anyone who is still not sold on the idea of the death penalty, and think of this, if you will, just for a moment, and I understand that people believe that it's quite counterintuitive when you're nice and humanitarian to say you're up for the idea of ending someone's life at the expense of the state. I would suggest that when we're told constantly that we don't have the money to give people in the NHS the care they deserve, or indeed we don't have the money to pay the doctors and nurses that they should be paid to stop them from going abroad, or that we don't have the money to pay our pensioners the winter fuel allowance. Okay, something else that was given a U-turn, but it's still not the point. Or we don't have the money for the potholes in the road, so that everyday good citizens who just want to go about their everyday lives can't do it because their cars are damaged or something like that. When we're told we don't have money for our armed forces, and yet we have the money to keep the most disgusting lunatics of society alive in their prison cell with a PlayStation and a television and enjoying a life of Riley. It makes me sick, and I make no apologies.
Not just that. We don't have the money for anything, but they're still giving tons of foreign aid to countries that hate our guts. They hate us. They hate us.
Anyway, there's someone who doesn't hate us, thank goodness.
Well, we don't know.
Well, I don't know actually. After what I've just said, actually, I'm probably off the Christmas card list now. I'm afraid. But
this has been Chantal for the last 10 minutes. I don't think she loves us anymore. But anyway, you know, we're going to have to stand up and be counted. You know her. We love her. There she is.
Uh-oh.
Here I am.
The arms are still folded.
I'm so sorry. I need to sit up straight.
We're in trouble. This is exciting. This is like OnlyFans.
We need to click. Can you just make this shot a little bit to make my head a little bit bigger?
No, we are very excited.
Yes, you can. Phil can. Phil knows how to do it.
Everything. No, I don't want that.
No, that's better, Phil. That's better. No, but just make it a little bit.
I can't crop it, sadly.
Chantal, stop doing that because it's getting me going. To be
right, hang on. I might have to pull this closer.
I think that's the answer. Unfortunately, I don't
believe.
You
understand. For everybody, it's the highlight of the week. So we don't want to see Phil or myself or Neil Long. We want to see you.
Not
live
true.
From Norwich. It's the quiz of the week.
Not true. And I do still love you, but I cannot agree with you about the death penalty. But I still love you anyway.
That's all right. I'm used to people disagreeing with that. So.
No.
The interesting thing. Here's the thing, Chantal.
Yeah.
I love.
Don't drag Chantal into politics. She's nice. She talks about.
I'm very happy to talk about politics. Just make me smaller.
Let me finish. No, let me finish. Jesus. All right, let me finish. Is that you can say I don't agree because we disagree on a lot of things, you and I.
Yeah.
But we're still good friends.
Still pals. We're still pals.
Etc. We go to cinema and all of that lovely sort of stuff. And other people, I won't mention any names, vile, have just been disgusting. They've lost that ability to say, let's agree to disagree. Vile.
But that's what I love about opinion. Is it subjective?
Totally. Yeah, totally. And everybody lives a different life and everybody comes from a different place. And I think that it's wonderful that we can all share opinions like that without actually, hurling bricks at each other on in some sort of ghastly environment where people are getting overly heated and a bit hysterical. So there we go. But anyway.
All right, no, it's too deep. It's too deep. What have you seen at the movies?
Hang 'em high.
I haven't been to the movies this week.
The Green Mile.
Shawshank Redemption, the musical.
Prisoner Cell Block H. No. Haven't seen any of those things. No, haven't been to the movies. Had a completely crazy week. I was in a board meeting for 7 hours yesterday.
Oh God!
I slept well last night, I can tell you.
So you were bored by the end of
it. Can I ask you a question? Don't tell me what the board was, because that would be intrusive.
No.
I always find if you can't get everything done in like an hour, what are you discussing?
Well, if only. It's quite a complicated business, so there was lots to discuss. But then I'm basically doing, or I'm not quite doing, what Russ does. I've come down to join a friend in Sussex whose daughter is also called Chantal, who is getting married tomorrow.
Okay.
And so I'm down here with my marigold gloves and a bucket and
wedding outfit.
I know, bucket of hot water, and I have spent the whole morning up a ladder
is this bride?
cleaning the kitchen.
Is the bride filthy or something? Must have a bath in a week?
No, no. I just said I would help out the bride's mum. She's a working mum too. Right. So I said, look, I'll come down, and if I can help out, I will.
Are you already in your wedding outfit? Is that it? The lovely cornflower
No, wedding outfit's in the car. I'm just in my gym kit, basically. Because
gym, good Lord.
That's your gym kit? You look like you're going out to dinner.
No, I very hastily put some makeup on and put my hair in a thing about 20 minutes ago.
Oh,
so
I put my hair in a bag.
Yeah. No, I've been knee deep in fish pie for the last hour and a half.
Please tell me that's not a euphemism.
No, we've got 43 people for dinner tonight. Yeah, 43
you won't get much wine out of that.
For dinner.
No, it's 43 for dinner, and there's 2 bottles of wine in the fish pie.
Oh, good work.
Yeah. So honestly, it's the most beautiful part of Great Britain. It's
Where's everybody going to sit in the kitchen? 43 people.
No, because the marquee is on the lawn on the banks of the Chichester Harbour. So it's the most pretty setting. Yep.
That's great.
And a wedding tomorrow. So I stood in for the father of the bride at the rehearsal last night, which was rather interesting.
Is that all right?
Not very well.
Oh.
The suit didn't fit.
No, it's all going to be marvellous. And as I said to the bride and groom, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't go well. It'll be fine.
It really does. I don't know if
feel very sorry for anyone who has false teeth who lives in Chichester. It must be awful for them to have to relay their address over the phone.
You are naughty.
Anyway, I don't know if you heard at the beginning of the show, but months ago I was booked by this huge event company to do this wedding.
I know, I heard.
And I'm booked for tomorrow at least for 10 to 11 hours. That's my booking slot.
Drinks are on you, Russell.
Exactly. That'll be great. That'll be lovely.
Well, I won't know anybody, obviously. I have met the bride and groom twice to plan. Well, not plan the wedding, so I can get the wording. So I'm not planning the wedding. There's all sorts of things and queues and hard queue. It's going to be absolutely spectacular. I just hope they're not relying on technology too much. If I only use paper.
It'll be fine. And actually, we met the local vicar down here last night, and I was thinking it would be a sort of vicar straight out of a sitcom, and you'd sort of know what you were getting. No, this guy was, in a pair of black jeans. He's 36. He's drop dead good looking.
You are so into him. It's so obvious.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So he's amongst the more. He's a slicker vicar, is he?
Yeah, he's a very slick vicar. Vicar Sam, he is. I'm.
Vicar Sam.
Vicar Sam. I am really thinking about taking up the church again, but possibly might be a step too far.
I'll do that joke with you. No, I was so close. I was so close to doing a gag. I just pulled it back in time. Thank God. Right. Have you seen anything decent on telly?
Yes. Well, very, very briefly, I wanted to go back to the boroughs because I think you mentioned the boroughs last week.
I thought it was fantastic.
Well, so I immediately turned it on last week because I thought, actually, no, I really enjoyed it. So I looked it up. It's absolutely a bit of a fave rave at the moment.
Good.
The critics are really good, and it is definitely worth a watch. Alfred Molina is fantastic. Gina Davis, who none of us have seen since
love Gina.
Thelma and Louise.
Loved her, we haven't seen her forever, have we?
No, I mean the last thing we saw was in Thelma and Louise. She went off a cliff, and we haven't seen her since. So,
well, you don't. If you're in a Ford Thunderbird and it goes off a cliff, I don't know how to break.
I think the writers misunderstood the term cliffhanger.
Possibly. Very good, Phil. But she is brilliant, and you can still recognize her, mainly because you recognize her voice. You might not recognize her face as easily, but I won't say more than that because it would be unkind of me to. Are
you referring to the that maybe is slightly newer than when she was last on screen?
Just a bit.
Yes, as Joan Rivers would say, her face was the youngest thing about her.
Yes.
As Ross always says, he says, it only works in LA. I did the gag in LA. I asked if I could borrow it. It doesn't work in the UK, so I wouldn't do it. And he goes, lovely to see so many old faces, so many new faces, and so many new faces on some old faces.
Do you know, I've forgotten. That's a very good line.
It's a lovely line that he opens with,
absolutely.
which is sweet. So I'm glad you like the boroughs. I thought it was
good.
Really engaging.
Yes, and you know that I don't really like things that sort of take us into sort of slightly spooky other realms, a bit otherworldly.
I know you hate it.
Yeah, you tolerate this show.
No, but oh my God, you are cooking on gas today.
I'm sorry. Do you know what it is? I'm mildly hungover, so I just think anything goes. I'm so sorry. A colleague of mine is leaving today. It's his last day after 10 years of working at the same place. And we just all a lot of us went out last night to go and see him on his way, and I'm afraid that I'm a bit delirious this morning.
Delirious or drunk?
Now you tell me. Thanks.
I'm feeling the pinch, but it's fine.
Anyway, Stranger Things. I'm just going to support what you said, Russ. The Stranger Things is very good. It's a bit like, if anybody Stranger Things is what they are saying was the basis of the boroughs, which we were just talking about. It's Stranger Things for grown-ups, basically. So if you saw Stranger Things or your kids saw Stranger Things, no? Okay. In that case, forget Stranger Things, which was an enormous success.
Oh, I know.
Massive global success.
And the stage show here in London was huge.
Yeah. But it's Golden Girls on steroids with a bit of
really.
I loved the Golden Girls.
Yeah, well, so did I. But it's got a bit of Mulder and Scully thrown in for good measure, sort of. Difficult to describe because it doesn't really fit any sort of genre.
It's a genre-bending concept.
It's a genre bender. You're right. It is a genre bender.
What I liked,
you can get those in Stoke.
What I liked about it, Alfred Molina, I think, was playing older than he really is. Gina Davis was, I think, playing her actual age, and the others, and they weren't. No, I'm not being rude. I'm being serious.
Okay.
And what makes me furious about the media is that if you're over 30, it's Logan's Run, you might as well be dead. And here are all these people, and they all had serious jobs before they went and decided to live in this retirement village. So they're not all, they're serious people who had huge careers. They're not stupid. They're not doddery. Yes, hello, thank you. Thank you very much for just redressing the damn balance. Changing the subject very slightly, have you seen the reviews for Disclosure Day? Because they stink.
Well, that's really interesting because, as you know, I never read a review until I've seen the show. I make my mind up and then I read the reviews. Now, I hadn't got round to looking at the reviews of Disclosure Day, and I thought I was a bit of a voice in the wilderness going, bit lazy, not really very novel. And you sort of feel like, you're criticizing something that you really shouldn't, because Steven Spielberg is a god.
Was
I felt a bit,
a god.
yes, I felt a bit mean, sort of not giving it 100%. But actually, that's really interesting that the reviews aren't as good as they might be.
The thing with reviews is, it's like finding a wine, like Tom Gilby is my go-to wine guy, because he will find stuff that's cheap and delicious, for example. So with reviews, if you find someone who goes, this is great, and you say, oh, this is pretty good, you begin to have a sort of standard, right? The two people that I listen to the most for reviews, in America he's called Nerdtronic, goes under the name of Nerdtronic, and over here it's called The Critical Drinker, Scottish.
Yes, I've heard you talk about The Critical Drinker.
Absolutely, although they make it look very casual, their critique is so on point every time.
Right.
And they both they wanted to love Spielberg, and they're saying, basic to paraphrase, we got into films because of Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
These films were the main things of our lives at each point that it came out. Was it Jaws, or was it Close Encounters, or any of those, Indiana Jones? And this film just sucks.
I know. If you love Spielberg and you just want to be reminded of some of the nice things he's done in the past, this is the way to do it. But it doesn't feel novel. It doesn't feel as though you're getting anything really fresh, which is a pity. But it is what it is. It's
really just a 2.5-hour chase movie, and the problem is that they have 3 leading characters, and you couldn't give a monkeys about any of them because they're not very appealing.
They're not.
There you go.
You're right. No,
there you go.
You nailed it.
But other than that, you'd recommend it?
Well, I think if you're
I'm
a Spielberg
saving myself 2.5 hours. I was dying to see it.
I'm
not going to go.
Well, still go and see it. You'll get bits out of it that will make you feel warm and fuzzy about Steven Spielberg. But it's
if you compare it to, say, a film that was intellectually brilliant and based on real kind of science, called Arrival. Do you remember that film?
Oh,
Arrival?
I do remember. That was very good.
God.
Yeah.
It was sensational.
Yeah, very good.
That's
indeed.
where it should be. That's the gold standard. If you're going to do kind of science fiction and stuff like that, it's got to be. We've moved on.
Yeah.
We don't need E.T. 2. We loved E.T. and that was 1,000,000 years ago.
Yeah.
For me, the gold standard is the Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas. So.
I have to say, I did like the Flintstones.
With Joan Collins. Joan Collins playing Fred Flintstone's mother-in-law. That made me.
I forgot that. I love the fact that you've both seen it. That's
No, I used to watch the cartoon, the Flintstones.
Oh, I loved it.
I loved the cartoon.
I had the vinyl album.
What?
Yeah. They used to do albums when I was a kid. So I had the Huckleberry Hound Show album, the Flintstones album.
You're joking.
Pixie and Dixie, and Pixie and Dixie.
Oh,
hate those Mises.
Loved it.
I loved all that. And
amazing.
I these albums. Oh,
Hanna-Barbera or whatever they.
Do you mean Pinky and Perky?
No.
Pixie and Dixie,
Pixie
the mice.
Dixie and Mr. Jinx.
Yes, Jinx the cat. I hate those Mises to pieces.
Oh, I know what you mean.
You're too young.
The Pinky and Perky song was the first 45 I ever bought.
Dear God.
Yes.
And did you go back for more after?
I was that person. There you go.
The first record I ever bought, the first 45 I ever bought was PJ Proby, Hold Me.
Oh, that's classy.
Well, I just thought it was a fantastic song.
Yeah.
Still do.
Yeah. That's classy. No, mine
was
Pinky
classy.
And Perky.
I just happened to like the song. And then obviously every Beatle album whenever it came out. Of course.
I think the first one I ever bought was probably a single by the Teletubbies, but in hindsight, that was a mistake as a 15-year-old. But anyway.
I was going to say Teletubbies. Yeah, definitely not your vintage. Definitely not. Oh God. Anyway,
now listen. They're amusing to make you think. So, but anyway.
Yes, I would, because we are in the media, us folk. And we have lived a bit, and occasionally we watch football, although I'm trying to avoid it at the moment. Did you watch the documentary, the Panorama documentary about David Sullivan?
No, it's a long time coming.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I don't know if I've told this story before. I'm not quite sure if I have. Did I tell you about when I went to have dinner at his home, the big mansion?
Oh my God, no! Here we go.
Yeah, in what I used to call slightly stupidly thé d'amboise, because I am posh and middle class.
Steeden boys.
Steeden boys, exactly.
Did you used to say I'm going on the tube to Tournai Piccolane?
Anyway, it was my little joke to me that I went out for dinner in thé d'amboise, to the big mansion owned by David Sullivan a very long time ago when Karen Brady was his girlfriend.
Oh God.
And I'll tell you exactly how long ago it was, because my son is now 33 and I was 6 months pregnant with my eldest boy. So that is a very long time ago. I have no idea why I was invited for dinner, other than the fact that I had been there about 3 months earlier to film Through the Keyhole. Honestly, the list of rogues that I've had on Through the Keyhole is now longer than the list of non-rogues.
Than the how can you put it delicately? The uninhibited ones.
It's completely astonishing. But Karen Brady and I spent quite a lot of, because we were both on either side of David Sullivan at dinner. So he has a table that seats about 22 people. There's one piece of Carrara marble that arrived in a Pantechnicon from somewhere, Italy, presumably Carrara. And he, had these sort of amazing sort of silver coasters that the plates sat on, and the glasses all with a crest on, and just sort of absolutely extraordinary, fabulous wine, a meal that I was thinking, oh my God, this is good. And then there was a string quartet to greet us as we walked through the front door. And
Russ has that every time he comes home as well.
Yeah, always. And I go over to Phil's, there's
he was a self-made man. I mean, clearly he made his money at the beginning out of porn, but he was a self-made man. But he knew what he liked, and he liked the big fancy mansion. It was I think the largest built private home in Great Britain since the Second World War. When it was
Mickey
built.
Most's home, I believe, on Toptrish Lane.
No, well, that's not the same. No. The one that Sullivan built.
No, I know. But no, what I'm saying is they always said that the largest private home built in post-war Britain was Mickey Most's home, which is gigantic. Lovely Mickey Most.
This must have been built after Mickey Most.
Yeah.
Because certainly at the time it was, I mean, I can't remember when it was built, late 80s, I would think, something like that. But it was an astonishing house.
Yeah, it must be huge. It must be, I bet it's gigantic.
No, absolutely gigantic. And you would think, well, there were the string quartet, and there were waiters all in, in penguin suits, and I was thinking,
fancy anyone wearing a penguin suit.
Can you imagine anyone being so daft when it's 100 degrees outside?
Well, indeed. But the idea that he'd come from a very humble beginning to something whereby he wanted the trappings of the super wealthy and the elite, the old-fashioned elite, if you like, it was a modern mansion, but it was built on very classical lines, and he wanted people serving drinks on, silver platters with wearing penguin suits. I mean, absolutely extraordinary. But when it came to the dinner, which obviously he had chosen, we sat down to something that I thought was going to be, well, it'll be quails in aspic, or it'll be, something sort of really, oysters.
Lentils on sourdough or something like that.
No, that would have been
also known as beans
trendy.
On toast.
No, way too trendy. And it was, I think we had prawn cocktail to start with.
Excellent.
Ooh. Chicken and chips as the main course.
Jeez.
Oh, good work.
And then we had
Black Forest Gatto.
Black Forest Gatto. Yeah, got it in one.
Oh,
and then we had yeah, no, seriously. And then we had cheddar and Edam for cheese.
Oh, perfect.
With
was that after eights and a little silver trolley?
No, they had Jacob's cream crackers, or he had Jacob's cream crackers in a silver filigree basket.
Of course.
Yes. And it was just...
Did they serve Ferrero Rocher afterwards or something?
Oh, Ambassador, how
spoilers. I don't remember that, but we did all go downstairs afterwards to do 10-pin bowling because this mansion.
Oh God, here's a bowling alley.
God. Don't you have one, Phil?
No, funnily enough, actually, I didn't have room after I built the squash court. So
yeah. Anyway, just going back to Panorama and chatting about that for 2 seconds, only in that if you are interested in the life of David Sullivan, it's an okay documentary is all I would say. It could have been so much better. It felt like the kids at Panorama had been sort of given an instant topic to come up with, and they just pulled together a whole load of, small pieces from hither and thither that didn't do either them any favors, and it certainly didn't do David Sullivan any favors. But it is an interesting story. I mean, whatever we say about our world, we do throw up really interesting characters, and he is one of those characters. Yeah. So it's worth watching. If you don't know anything about the life of Sullivan, it's worth watching. If that grimy stuff is really not your scene, don't turn it on.
People are terribly critical, but if there wasn't a huge appetite for porn, which is, as you've rightly said, where he made his money, where indeed initially did Richard Desmond.
Yeah.
If there wasn't a huge audience for that and a willing marketplace, they wouldn't have made their millions. So who's clever? They are. They're very clever.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with it, whether you like them, that's entirely your personal decision. But they saw an opportunity in a marketplace, and they went for it, and they did fabulously well.
Yeah.
I'm not being a moral arbiter here. I'm just saying those are the facts.
Yeah. Anyway,
did he have some sort of inappropriate name for his for the abode, for the house?
Do you know, I can't remember what it was called. It's a really good question, Phil. I have no idea what it was called.
Done movies.
No, can't. Do you know, it doesn't, I can't remember.
The cracks will show.
What?
I said the cracks will show.
I'm not even going to comment on that.
Looking up an old friend.
Or that. Honestly, you are still drunk, Phil Dave.
He is.
Your mother's listening.
He really is.
Your mother is listening.
I thought it was only Neil Long
the
who
war end
comes
of
on
the
Smash.
stuff as well. I promise you. She knows she's used to this.
This is the other Phil Dave that we know and love. Now this is
a liability. We're going to get taken off the air if we don't
Who
watch
it. Who the hell's going to take us off the air? Nobody. Now Roger Cook, before we say cheerio. Roger Cook, a great man, a great broadcaster, an absolute pioneer. I had the pleasure. I only met him once. I was comparing a charity thing, and he was there, and he was such a good sport because I pretended to be him and chased him around with a mic and pretended he'd done something wrong, which of course and he was such a laugh. And he's sort of gone from people's memories, but he was groundbreaking. I thought he was a great chap.
Good.
Did you
was
like
there
his
any
work?
reason that came to mind?
Yeah, because Mark has come up. What did you think of Roger Cook's passing? His program was excellent. So I'm
sorry, I didn't see the lower third.
So I was just agreeing with you, Mark. I think he was, an absolute, in those days, a pioneer.
Yeah.
As was Bernard Braden. People like that.
I love Bernard Braden.
Bernard Braden, Barbara Kelly, it was all marvelous. And then along came Esther.
Oh God.
That'll do.
I thought you were going to say along came Holly Willoughby.
She's still with us?
To the best of my knowledge.
Okay. Right. Quick question for you, Chantal Rickards-OBE. How do you think it's going to go with the new presenters? I've got to ask, Strictly. Do you think it's going to still be? They'll get over the hump and then they'll get used to it, I guess.
Yeah, I think so, because we like the bits in between the dancing, but we really like the dancing. And the presenters are secondarily in importance to the panel. because we love what the panel have got to say, and we know the panel, and we all of that sort of stuff. So I think they'll get away with it.
Yeah,
and I think I mean, I think it'll be fine.
So does this mean it will run for another 20 years?
Yeah, definitely.
It'll
definitely run.
It'll run
I'm
until the
sure it
ratings
will.
tank. It'll run until the ratings tank, and that'll be
Yeah.
the end of that.
I mean, it is quite an expensive show to do, but it's doing great business, so don't knock it.
It's probably I don't know. I'm guessing. I know the square root of nothing, but I presume it's the BBC's flagship show, isn't it? Really, that and Traitors. I would have thought was their flagship.
Yeah. Doctor Who, EastEnders are also flagships as well. So.
Yeah, in drama it would still be EastEnders, I think, but in entertainment,
Wow.
Anyway, hey ho.
And the only question I have for everybody out there is, who really did kill Theo? Ooh. And on that note, Coronation Street. And on that note,
I'm pleased
to have a wonderful wedding.
What you're asking, but anyway.
Yes, you have a good wedding. I'll have a good wedding.
You have a great wedding. Phil, sober up sometime before tomorrow. That would be good for you and for everybody around you.
I'm fine. I don't know what you're talking about, for goodness sake. It's called humour. You should try it sometime.
If you're on the Jubilee line from London Bridge, the driver will be Phil. And when you hear the announcement, it goes, mind the doors, or don't. I don't care. Whatever. All right? We're at a station. I don't know where. It'll be that. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you so much for joining.
And he's got the audacity to humor he is being drunk. But anyway,
goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.